It is 1:20 in the afternoon, and I thought that I was going to have this task that would take me maybe like an hour. And here we are. I haven't had lunch yet. I have these 3 podcasts that I needed to get edited, right? But this fancy freaking computer doesn't have where I can put like my mini disc in it. Well, I'm sure I can get something that goes in a USB port, like an extension or whatever. So I'm having to do it in my laptop over there. But okay, so here's the deal. Couldn't use the little mini disc on the big computer, and then couldn't access my files, and then I didn't have my editing software on the freaking laptop. So like this turned into like the never ending saga, right? Anyways, I finally got it done. And what I was trying to do is edit this podcast that I did with this guy named Mike Long. And now that thing is up. You need to go listen to it. This guy, dude, I am like starstruck, and I don't get starstruck. Like my best friend's an Olympian, right? And I don't know. I call and talk to famous people. I sent Jelly Roll's wife an email the other day. Like she hasn't talked back, but like, I contacted Alan Jackson before. Like, I don't know. I just don't get starstruck because they're just people. But this guy that I did this podcast interview with, he was an accident for me to get to talk to him because some mother beeping spammer had sent me an email and said that they were Mike Long and wanted to know if I wanted to do a podcast interview. And then I was like, let me look up Mike Long. And then I contacted him, and it was not the same email address. Well, then it turns out Mike Long is like one of the longest standing professors at Georgetown University, which is like really freaking fancy pants. And then we got to talking. Well, I just felt like Ellie Mae Clampett had done a podcast interview with somebody that probably corrects Grammarly, okay? Like, this dude's really freaking cool. Anyways, I got behind on getting my podcast up, but anyways, I have that up on this Facebook page that you're on right now. And I have his link to his book because he sold 1 million copies, and it's been translated in 25 languages. Like, this dude is duding, like, I'm so proud of him. I call him a word ninja. He like writes speeches for politicians and for famous people, and he writes plays, and he's done comedy. Like, he is slinging some words. I just think that's so cool. Everybody always says that words don't mean anything. I say bull, S-H-I-T. Words mean more to me than anything, like, I'm kind of messed up in the head because I never got to hear those words. Like, I'm proud of you, right? I didn't get to hear that a lot whenever I needed to hear that before. And so, it messed me up, and it made me always trying to achieve stuff. I don't know. A lot of people have been missing out on some words like, I'm proud of you, or I love you, or you are pretty, or you are smart. Like, a lot of people need those words. And so, anyways, this guy, I totally geek out about him, and I just uploaded my podcast, and then, so there's that. Now then, I hurt my damn back, and it's my mid back, and I went to the chiropractor. Well, first I went to massage therapist because it was on my lower right side, and now it's moved to my mid back on the left side. And I don't know how many days I need to be in pain before I say, okay, let me go back to the chiropractor. But I don't know if y'all have ever dealt with back pain. It's debilitating. I hate it. The only time I have been pain-free for the last like almost 3 weeks was when I was in the sauna. So like, if you've seen me in the last 3 weeks, I was dealing with back pain. So if anybody else is dealing with that crap, it sucks. It's worse whenever I'm trying to lay down and sleep. If I lay on my right side, which makes me have like stomach issues, it's the only time my back doesn't hurt. So me and my cat been getting up and going and sleeping on the couch a little bit so my poor husband can try to get some sleep instead of me moaning and groaning and being uncomfortable and turning the red light on and just trying to function. So that's what's been going on lately. I've got so many freaking cool things going on right now. I did an interview so Mike's interview has been a little bit, but I finally got that up. And then I've got another podcast I've got to edit today, and it's a freaking boxer that has the same title that Mike Tyson had. So, what about a nice back massage? That's what he said, right? I've seen those shirts that say I was supposed to be a back rub, and it's for like a little kid shirt, you know? But anyways, I'm editing podcasts today, and I've got to contact all these people that have entered into our All Around Cowgirl Challenge. I've got to get them gone through to see how many we can house. And that's what the heck I've been doing, y'all. I feel like I haven't been on here as much as I usually am. And I've got so many days recorded, but I never did get them up. And now it feels like I shouldn't upload them. Because time has passed. So anyways, been doing that. What else? Oh, I've been hiring judges left and right for my horse competition. Been doing that. And tomorrow is the day that we move my piano bar in. And my husband will probably not go back and watch my live, okay? So whenever I post the video of me showing you that freaking piano bar, y'all better say good job and it looks good, okay? Because my husband ain't gonna go back and watch this live, so he won't know that I'm low-key threatening y'all, okay? So, anyways, all right. Well, I'm gonna get back to editing these podcasts. You know, I love doing the podcast interviews, but then editing sucks. It's kind of like whenever I write my children's books. Writing the children's books the easiest thing in the world, okay? And then editing is not the easiest thing in the world. And then putting it into book format. That takes a hot minute. But I think I'm going to... Originally, my podcast was set up to be where I did an interview with someone in the horse industry, and then I would talk about something myself, and then I would have somebody that's not in the horse industry. Chris on here just says, when's the next ice bath? Right now, I am thinking about doing one today. I don't know if it's going to make those muscles clamp up around this rib that had gotten out, or if it would actually help me by letting inflammation go down around it. It literally hurts for me to lay on my back right now. So maybe I should do one today. Anyways. All right. I showed y'all how I use my tallow. I uploaded a video this morning. I should maybe think about wearing a bra if I'm going to video myself. It's too late now. I don't even care because it was my morning routine. Well, my morning routine, I look like death warmed over. Okay. So I'm trying to be real because everybody else is a bunch of fakes. You know, they don't show things behind the scenes. So I'm trying to not show everything, but I'm trying to be, a different kind of influencer. So, all right, that is all for now. Do please listen. If you're a podcast listener, please listen to my one that I just uploaded. It's number 86, and it's Mike Long and the Molecule of More. The Molecule of More talks about dopamine, and it makes us understand why we're never happy, or it explains addiction. It explains how to make yourself happy. So dopamine is everything. And I mean, like this thing, to sell 1 million copies, it's won all sorts of awards and to be translated in 25 languages. And it's easy to understand. So I hope that you take the time to understand that, especially if you know anybody that, you know what, it made me more empathetic towards people that deal with drug addiction. That's not what the book is about. For me, that was like a real small section, but the part where it talks about like you need to be happy with what you have instead of, it's always about wanting what you have instead of having what you want. So, Chris Jefferson, you better watch yourself on here. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. Please listen to my podcast if you're into that stuff. You know what? I have to be entertained, or I will go to sleep listening to podcasts. What is it called? His book is called The Molecule of More. That's his first one. And then he has a second book that came out, actually, I think it came out in 25, called Taming the Molecule of More. Dude, we live in a society where it's always more shirts, more, buy this, buy that, buy this. Anyways, we have to chill out with that stuff, because whenever you look at all the crap stacked up in your house, that's all time. All of that costs money, and all of that stuff, you gave a part of your life to make that money. So we got to get that stuff calmed down so you can have more life. Anyways, I got to drink some water. All right. Go on to this Facebook page. I just posted it, and read my intro about it and listen to the podcast. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.